Okay, Commander players, spell slingers alike. What card that is currently on the ban list would you unban in Commander? Any card you want, let it in the comments below. Do a video with this. Tell me why you want to ban. And also let me know, what comment do you want to see banned that is currently not banned? Maybe you want it to get moved up and be banned. Put that in the comments below. Make a video, stitch it. Let me know in the comments. Let me know why you would ban it as well. And welcome to MTG Thursday Thoughts. Normally this is in my office today. I've been traveling and having some meetings and stuff like that. And so today, doing it while I'm sitting in my car, and I want to talk to you about bans, unbans, cards that are banned, things like that, and give you thoughts about it. Welcome to the MTG Thursday Thoughts about that stuff. And there's a possibility on the 22nd, I believe, there's some kind of Commander ban stuff coming out, possibly new bans, unbans, who knows. But here's the thing. Everyone always has different thoughts on bans, what should be banned, what shouldn't be banned. Some people get upset about bans, some people don't get upset about bans, some people think more cards should be banned than should. Honestly, I think bans are good. I think, honestly, last year when it first came out, you could probably go back and watch the videos. I wasn't happy because I just got a Mana Crypt and was just getting into CDH, and I was actually in the process of buying a Dockside and for one of my decks, and all the bans came out, and I was frustrated by it. But at the same time, now that I sit back and think about it, I think it made at least CDH a better format. Now, again, those cards that got banned should have never really seen play in a more casual, anything under a 3, 100%. Even in 3s, I don't think most of those cards shouldn't have been seen. But, again, they happen. Now, there's a good chance, and I think maybe, of the cards that got banned, Mana Crypt, Jewel Lotus, and Dockside. I don't think Dockside should come back. I think he needs to stay out still. Sit him out for a bit. But there's a good chance he comes back. Jewel Lotus, honestly, I don't think Jewel Lotus is a bad card. I think it is a good card, and I think it could come back. Again, it does stink, and it shouldn't ever be in either a more casual format. I don't hate it though. If you got a 10 mana commander and you can it helps get him out, great. You know, I want to run Toxtrol at a level 4. It helps get Toxtrol out very, very early, which is gross and mean. But hey, you know, you've got to get that one card in your hand. Now, granted, there are ways to go get it. Urza Saga, etc., etc., etc. But at the same time, it's still not busted. And then Mana Crypt, I think Mana Crypt is just too much value for what it is. Because you literally, the downside is you lose, like, was it 2 life every turn or 3 life, something along those lines. It's not that much life that it really does matter for the fact that you get, for 0 mana, you get that much mana to start off the game with. If you get the right hand, you can just go. So I don't think Mana Crypt, as much as I would love to see Mana Crypt come off, so I could play it again on my decks, I think it probably should stay off. And there's a bunch of stuff that could get unbanned, and I think maybe Primeval Titan could come back. Now, there's some gross things you can do with Primeval Titan, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world. Coalition Victory, I think, should definitely come back. I mean, it's an 8 mana card, and they basically just printed something very similar in the Dragonstorm with the Call of the Spirit Dragon or whatever, the one that lets you basically, if you put 1/1 counters on different colors of permanent you control, you win the game kind of thing. So yeah, that's one thing. Coalition Victory, Biorhythm seems like an interesting one. Again, you could just win the game out of nowhere, but at the same time, you know, run more interaction. That's what I always say. There are some other cards I could see coming off the ban list or some that I'm kind of like, just leave them there. A lot of people are like, bring me back Hull Breacher. No, just leave that there. Hull Breacher is one of those one-sided things that it's only good for the person playing it, and it just it can slow games down and or just basically make it where everyone is just miserable at the game, and is especially in more of a casual format that definitely going to be played in CDH stuff like that. It was kind of gross what it did. Now, granted, it would help things like Rhystic Study and stuff like that. As far as bans go, there's a good chance, you know, at some point Rhystic Study gets banned. A lot of people say Thassa's Oracle banned. Honestly, though, there's also other combos without Thassa's Oracle and everything like that, and it's not really. It is a really convenient combo, but it also is very easy to stop. There's so many times and so many ways to stop it or beat it. So I don't think that, but maybe Rhystic Study. I think Rhystic Study gives almost too much advantage. Now, there's no downside to it. You draw all those cards, and it is good. And basically, the person that basically drops the Rhystic Study and no one pays for it, they're going to win the game. Typically, and they get a bunch of card draws, are typically going to be the person that wins the game. That's just typically what happens. So, Rhystic Study may be banned. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it gets put as like that we're watching this to possibly ban it, and we know it. But at the same time, I think maybe Jewel Lotus comes off. I think we're going to see a few other cards come off the ban list as well. As far as what I don't know, I'm not looking at ban list, so I can't tell you. But I think there are some fun cards that could come off and make the game a little bit more fun or a little more interesting and change some of the things that are there. shakeup stuff, then they will be in that level 3. When they come off the ban list, they go to that level 3, the game changer list. So they're still being watched. So if they come off and they're still broken, they can go back to being banned. It's not like they're never going to get banned again if they're bad enough. They bring them in, they start seeing a lot of negative gameplay, a lot of negative conversations about it. Okay, there's a good chance we may need to ban this again. So that's what it is. That's my thoughts on it. Let me know in the comments below some of the cards you want to see unbanned, some of the cards you want to see banned maybe, and why. Now granted, if you are a CDH player, we don't really need a lot of cards banned. Ristic City is probably the only one I would say could get banned. And I would hate for it to go in a sense, but at the same time, I also am like, yeah, that card is just so good in games. It wins games too easily. There are other things that draw you cards, but not as consistently as Ristic City, because a lot of times people are not paying their tax, especially like CDH, where they're going to pay once or twice, but they're still like, oh, I've got to like slow down and stuff like that. So let me know in the comments below what you want to see banned, since this video, whatever. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the bans. We're still going to see some unbans, hopefully. I would not mind seeing a few unbans. Nothing too crazy with a few of them, and give them a little bit of test in the current meta, current market, current power levels we live in, and see how they go. Thank you guys so much for being here, and as always, we'll see you next time.